Hi, my name's Claire. I'm the designer maker behind Love Poppet. It's May the 10th today and it's a gorgeous day here in Kent. It's lovely and sunny and it's my first Flosstube. I thought I'd join in all the fun that everybody's having and yeah, I just thought I'd show you the kind of things that I stitch on top of my work, on top of my job as it were. Yeah, I only really came across Flosstube at the beginning of the year. Mama Loves UGB had mentioned one of my patterns and so somebody contacted me about it. And so I started watching her. I discovered Leah from Cross Stitch Corner as well. And then I went down a complete rabbit hole and started watching loads of Flosstubers out there. I now primarily watch UK ones, but there are a few American or Australian or whoever comes across my screen. I start to watch them and see how they get on, and I just absolutely love seeing what people do. And I thought it makes it a bit more of a conversation if I kind of show you what I do, you know, as well. So it's not all going to be about Love Poppet. There will be a little bit of shop news or whatever whenever it comes up, but nothing, that isn't really the idea behind this. Anyhow, so moving on from that, I'll show you my first thing that I've finished recently, which is a cross stitch by a company called Stitchsperation. I don't know if you can see that there. It's a company that I discovered a while ago, a few years back, because I love the typography, and generally her pieces of work, the colour, she used to dye the fabric with splodges of ink, which I thought was just amazing. I just loved it as a background, but then it meant that the only bit you cross stitched was the black text, so it became quite a simple cross stitch. But this one I really loved because I don't know if you can see, but the actual colours I've had to stitch, and I love it when something like that happens where the yellow and the pink and the orange meet. I don't know, that really cheered me up when I did that. So this is one I can't wait to frame up and put downstairs in our hallway. However, saying that, it'll probably take me about 6 months or so. Maybe I'll do it in a rush before somebody turns up one weekend and stuff. And that pattern actually came from the XStitch Magazine, which is a British one done by Mr. XStitch, I believe. It's got 2 covers, a front and a back, and the pattern was just in here, sort of thing. Oh, maybe I shouldn't show that bit. I should show that bit. Yeah. So it's there on page 9, but this is quite an old edition. It was issue number 5, but I don't know what year that came out. But that's my first one that I finished. Thought you might be interested in. My second one, which is one that people have probably seen, is Everything is Better with a Little Bit of Magic. A beautiful one by Emma Condon from Stitchrovia. Once again, I fell in love with this because of the typography. I have been a graphic designer in my youth and trained as one, so it's not surprising I really like anything typographic. And that one also was from a magazine, which is the Cross Stitch Magazine, which is probably quite easy to work out. It's in this one because it's on the front cover, and that one is from October 21. So I'm not sure when I would have started this, but it wouldn't have been in October 21. I probably had it for about a year before I started on it. But those 2 I have finished. Then for ones that I'm working on currently, oh yeah, there's this one, which is another big one and another typographic one. You'll see a theme, you will. I am currently working on, have I got the thingy here? It doesn't have a cover photo, so I'll just show you this bit, which is Kiss by Emily Peacock, which is another UK designer. lovely lady, really love her stuff. She does a lot of cushions and stuff, and she's got a lot of sea themed ones at the moment, which I'm loving, but I'm not letting myself get into that because I've got this one to do. That is all I've got done so far. It's on a much thicker, I don't even know what kind of count this is. It must be something like 8 or something ridiculous. Yes, so as you can see, I've started some cream, getting the heart decoration, and then there's this border, and it will eventually be humongous. It is a very large cushion at the end. And I've got one I can show you from earlier, doing like a blue pizza style, which is the hug, which I got probably 4 or 5 years ago, and it took me ages to stitch it. But doesn't that look amazing? If I can pull it far enough back, I'm hoping you can see that in all its glory. And I'll give you some close-ups if you like. But yeah, this is just so lovely, and I'm planning on making it into a cushion for in our snug. A nice kind of long, almost like bolster type cushion. And so I'll have 2 of them eventually. I'll have one that says hug and one that says kiss. And weirdly enough, it's very much the colours of our snug. I've got purple walls and blue sofa. So a little bit wild there, but I do love my colours. I tend to try and stitch as much as I can with a full palette of colours, as anybody who's seen my designs might know. Yeah, I love type, I love colour, but I don't want to go too garish either. But there you go, some people might find that a bit garish anyway. And also for those 2 cushions, I've already bought my pom-pom kind of surround to go around the edges. I'm already planning that they will definitely become a cushion. This is a really nice like giant pom-pom that I've picked up along the way. I think those will look fantastic round the ends. So I don't think I'll make the hug up into a cushion until I've finished stitching Kiss, because I'm going to try and do them together and match them up as much as I can. Yeah, so that is that. God, I feel like I'm rushing through these things, but I guess I'm a little bit nervous with it all. Another one that I'm currently stitching, which is by the Witchy Stitcher. It's the Poisonous Plants cross stitch, which I haven't actually got a front cover of. But I can show you how far I've got at the moment. There was a stitch along going on Instagram for this, so I tried to post my progress through my stories as I did each thing, but I can only really stitch on these kind of things on a weekend because I'm trying to keep my weekdays as my work days. So obviously I have a lot of stuff that I need to stitch for my job really. Yeah. Oh, maybe I should have something dark behind this. Let me just grab a piece of card. Will that help if I put that behind there? As you can see, I've only got a few plants to start off with, and then I went off and started doing a bit more of the border just so that I could keep track of it a bit better. Actually, in this light it looks like I've got a stain on my fabric, which is a bit annoying. I'm usually stitching this at night time, so I've not noticed that. But hopefully I can give it a wash when I'm done. It's all using DMC threads, so you know I should be able to wash it at the end, and maybe some stitches will cover those bits as well. Oh yeah, going back to the Emily Peacocks, they are using anchor threads because they're thicker kind of woolly kind of things. But the Emma Congdon one, the Stitchrovia, did I say it was by her? The Everything is Magic, that was all DMC as well, so there's nothing unusual in that. And same with the Punch the Day in the Face. So that's Stitchsperation. That one's Stitchrovia. I can't remember if I've said it all. Sorry, new to all this. You're gonna have to bear with me. Yes, and also it just reminded me as well. I did the Stitch Festival this year in Angel in London, and I was really lucky. I got to meet Emma Congdon in real life, and I think I fangirled a little bit too much, but it can't be helped. But yeah, I was really surprised to see her in the flesh, and I just thought, wow, you've designed so many things, but how great. Yeah, so this one, anyway, going back to the Witchy Stitcher, absolutely love this, and I'll keep doing that. I'll try and remember who's doing the stitch along as well, because I must admit I haven't posted anything for 2 weekends because I had family down to stay last weekend, so I didn't do anything. So I'll have to remember who it is that I'm tagging in, but I'm sure it's called the Poisonous Flowers Sal on as your hashtag sort of thing. So that's another one that I've been working on. Then one that I've picked up, this is actually a free pattern, or it was when I got it, from a company called Boomerang Stitches. I believe she's fairly new, because I think she's Amity from the Hathaway Stitchers, which is one of the YouTubes that I watch and really love watching. Sorry, I'm so hot. It's so sunny here. Yeah, I really enjoy watching the Hathaway sisters because I have a sister, and I think if she was into crafting, we would be able to giggle and chat and talk like that, because that's how we do normally, but she is so not crafty, so she would not join in with anything like that. But you know, I like watching them because it reminds me of it. So anyhow, Boomerang Stitches is her company, and she has done this PDF, which is Berd Nerd, but you can get it in a second version which says Berd Herd. But anybody who's seen my designs before will know I am a bird nerd. I have bird feeders outside my window down in the snug, and I just love watching them every morning, coming and going, seeing which birds are going there. So when I saw this one, I had to do it. It is so lovely, and it's also got a kind of a retro vibe, which is very much my thing as well. Obviously there's a bit of typography as well, but yeah, I'm a big fan of Charlie Harper and stuff like that, and I get the geometric shapes and stuff, and the colourings remind me of those kind of designs. So I've only just started this a couple of nights ago. It's just because it's just one of those things that I'm doing while I'm trying to relax, and you know, I'm able to stitch through the week this week, so I'm nearly up to date with all my work stuff, but that won't last very long, you know. I'm always behind, I know I am. So if I use the pattern behind there, if I flatten it out a bit, I should have maybe taken the needle off as well. This is how far I've got. So I've started on the kind of bird in the middle. Well, there's 4 on the top row, and so I've started on the one in the middle to the right, and so you can see I've got put in a few creams and started the tail or wing, whatever that is, and then I've started along this branch I'm a little bit of an eager stitcher, so I've actually started stitching this before I've even got all the threads. So I can't do so much of the bird because I don't even have the colours. But I have got a selection of colours out in the office, so I might just, if I get desperate, just go and pick one and change it. But I did really want to see what her colours look like stitched up and see if her choices are good and all that. The fabric itself is on a linen. It looks like a 28 count linen, and I have absolutely no idea where I've got this linen from. It has been in my stash for ages, absolutely ages, and it feels like somebody starched it, which I stupidly didn't wash before I started stitching. So I decided I'd carry on seeing how it is when it's stitching when it's starched, thinking it might make it easier. So far, not enjoying it, but because I'm doing it all in DMCs, I'll just wash it again at the end, and unless any of you tell me not to, because I am used to doing normal kind of Ada type stitching and DMC, but I really am wanting to experiment more into different fabrics and different threads and just play and have fun. So obviously I'll have some mistakes along the way, I know that. Yeah, it's just inevitable, isn't it, really? But I do like it so far. Shall I show you again? Yeah, so I'm hoping that will come together pretty nice. But so far I am really enjoying the colours on that. I like the pinks together, peachiness. Then another one that I've been stitching on, this is actually another UK designer called Trouvaille, which I don't know if I'm saying that right at all. Do I have a front cover picture? Yeah, that's her name, Trouvaille. Sounds a little bit like it could be French or Cornish or something, I don't know. Anyhow, I got this set, which is the Newcastle and Gateshead Baubles set. I actually got it for Christmas, and I think I got it last year. Both me and my husband went to university in Newcastle, so we lived up there for 3 years, and that's where we met. So obviously very fond to both of us. The whole area around Newcastle brings back lots of fond memories. All our best friends are from there, and I've actually got some family up there as well. So yes, I bought this deliberately just as a memory thing, and deliberately for Christmas, because I like the fact that they're really tiny little hoops, and what would they be, about 3-4 inch? I think they might be classed as 3 inch. I don't know if it says, but anyhow, they're so cute, and I was planning on putting them on my tree, but Christmas got very busy for me, incredibly busy for me this past year. So this got shelved fairly early, and I stupidly had signed up for 2 cross stitch advent calendars, which obviously kept me busy as well. So yeah, I didn't get too far, but I did get quite a bit done on one of them, which is the Time Bridge. I don't know if maybe I shouldn't have it in the hoop, but I just wanted to check that it was fitting. Yeah, can you see it? We've got lots of memories of walking over that bridge late at night, going from one side of the Tyne to the other. And for those who are, I'll probably show my age now, there was a nightclub down on the river, Tuxedo Royale or Tuxedo Princess, one of those, and it was on the river Tyne. It was a nightclub literally on a boat, and it had a revolving dance floor, and from what I remember, the boat was slightly on a slant, on a slope, so the dance floor as it rotated juddered, and it was just carnage if you'd had loads of drinks, and yeah, everybody was throwing up generally. But that's my kind of memories. But yes, anyhow, going back, it is a really lovely stitch. Really, I'm looking forward to having those on my Christmas tree or on the wall that I just hang up for around Christmas time. Well, actually, I could have these up all year round, because even though they are like little baubles when they're done, they're not very Christmassy at all. There's maybe a little bit of snow on them, but that's it. So I would say I could have those once again in our hallway for most of the time. And if any of you come from up north like there, she does lots of them. She's got one that's the Baltic, Swans of Saltwell. There's Whitley Bay and Colour Coat Baubles. You know, there's quite a few selections, and I'm sure I've seen that she's done an Angel of the North. Some of her stitches look almost like a poster, like, you know, sort of thing. And there was definitely one that got a lot of press last year, or was it the year before, when the sycamore tree got cut down. She had done one with sycamore gap on that she'd been selling beforehand, and then obviously the tree got felled. So yeah, I seem to remember seeing that come up quite a lot at that point. So yeah, that's another little UK designer I don't know if many people know of. And that, I'm afraid, is all my whips at the moment. I feel like I've got more. Actually, I know I've got more because I've been working on a Barbara Anna. Okay, I'm unsure where I keep that at the moment, but I have been stitching on it in the last couple of weeks, so that just shows my space, really. I'll just have a look here to see if it's here, but I'm pretty sure these are all, yeah, I've got lots of patterns kind of ready to go, but nothing started. But I have been working on the Barbara Anna one. I think it's called Garden of Dreams or something. It's got quite a lot of green on the background and a girl with reddy gingery hair. So I'll have to dig that out for next time and try and work out where I've gone with that one. Yeah, because I can't see it nearby at the moment. Then the other thing I was going to say as well is today, for those who have signed up for my stitch along, the Dreaming of Summer stitch along, I've just sent out all the fabric and floss packs literally this morning, so they should be well on their way, because the first part comes out next Thursday, if I've got my dates right. The first part of the pattern. For those who haven't seen it, I'll just show you quickly. I'll try and put up a picture of my little teaser image, but I don't know how to do that, so I can't promise. But these are the two fabrics that I've recommended using. This one is either a 14 count Aida or a 32 even weave. They're both Zweigart ones, and even though there's a slight colour difference there, they're both classed as colour 264, which is their kind of creamy colour. I thought that was quite nice because it had a bit of yellow in, and there's going to be some white flowers on the design and little bits of white here and there, so I wanted something that the white showed up against enough, but was quite pale. I have, these are the thread colours that you get in the kit. As you can see them all together, they make quite a nice summery palette, and against, you know, if you were to dangle them against those fabrics, they'll all show up really nicely. So those are the DMC kind of flosses I chose for this design, but it's a mystery pattern, so I can't really show you that much. What I would say though, if you were doing it and had the PDF and wanted to do it from stash, obviously you could choose a lot of these colours from your own stash, but I think it would also work on a pale blue because there's no blues in the palette of threads. So a pale blue would be nice, but like I said, there are some little white flowers and stuff in the pattern, so you need something that the white would show up against. So that's, just bear that one in mind. But there's still time to sign up for that stitch along. The first part of the pattern comes out next Thursday, and it's a 5-part stitch along. So it'll come out every fortnight after that, a new section. And what was I going to say about that? Oh, that was it. I was going to let the first piece of the pattern come out and maybe the second before I close the books for the PDF sort of thing, because I need to keep track of my emails and I know who I'm sending out to. I don't want anybody to fall through the gaps, but I thought I'd leave it where you get to see a couple of pieces so you can decide if you like the way the pattern's going, basically. Because I know some people like to see the full pattern before they join in, but that's how it goes. And then the only other bit of news I've got is my current subscription box, which is the Balloon Fiesta, is now closed because they will get sent out next week. All the boxes, I'm starting to pack them up now and get them in hand. So the following design, so if you sign up at the moment for a subs box, you will be into the one that delivers in July, because they're every 2 months. And that one is, I can show you the design because it's nicely stitched up, is the Lovebirds. I'm thinking of calling it something like Everything's Peachy, because they're classed as peach-faced birds, lovebirds. And I kind of went for this. I've been getting a lot of feedback recently that people like my birds, which is nice to hear. So I thought I'll show you, that's the robin one and the wren, which was really popular at the beginning of the year. And now we'll have a couple of lovebirds. I wanted to do another bird, but I also was in a summery mood. So these have the nice colours, I think. But they all sort of like fit in 6-inch hoops. Yeah. And although this one I have stitched on a 16 count Aida, whereas these are all on 14 count Aidas. I thought since there's 2 birds, I needed a bit more detail in there. So I've stitched that one on a 16 count, but it'll all be with DMCs and stuff. So yeah, that subs box is open to order at the moment, but it will get delivered around the 15th of July. The cut-off point is something like the 5th of July for that one, just to give me time to get everything pulled together and whatnot. And yeah, so that's my first Flosstube. I feel a bit weird that I've done one, but also I wanted to join in the fun. So yeah, nice seeing you all. Hopefully you now can put a face to the name, as it were. Yeah, and I'll speak to you soon. I was going to say, I probably won't be one of those Flosstubers who posts every week, because I don't know if I'll have enough stitched up that I can show you, since I mainly want to do it about my own stitching. But we'll see. I'll see how often I can come on and talk and maybe share some bits. Yeah, anyway, nice talking to you. Bye. Hi, sorry, me back again. I went downstairs and I instantly found the other 2 cross stitches that I've been working on. So I just thought I'd post them on here just so I've got it documented that I have been working on them. For my memory more than anybody else's. I'm getting to that age where the memory doesn't last very well. So as I was saying before, I have been doing one of Barbara Anna's designs, which is Garden of Dreams. I knew I had been working on that one. A lot of you have probably done Barbara Anna designs before. I think she's an amazing designer. Love her colour palette, love everything about her. And so this is my cross stitch. I have got little threads everywhere. Maybe next time I do a cross stitch floss tube, I'll remove all the threads so that it's easier to see. But yeah, newbie here, so just bear with. Anyhow, this is how far I've got. As you can see, I've mainly done her top and flowers. I've kind of worked my way down here and then along, and then I'm going to go back up again. But I was absolutely transfixed with the way she's done her top here. I would never have thought to do loads of circles all together to make a pattern on a top, and I just think that's amazing. You know, it is, she's so clever. I don't know much about the history of Barbara Anna, but I would love to know how she got into it, how long she'd been going, that kind of stuff. I always like people's backstories, really. Really find it interesting. But that's me. I'm one of those types. But yeah, you know, even going into these kind of weird flowers or berries or whatever they might be, I think that's just amazing. My light isn't really catching it that well, is it? But and this is, I think this is a 28 even weave. It's definitely Zweigart because it's got the orange bit on there. I would guess this is the colour number 53 because I order fabric straight from Zweigart. I know everything by their number rather than their name. So I don't know if it's called natural or raw or whatever, but I know their code number is number 53. Don't know if that'll help a lot of you. But if you're buying it from a shop, it might have that code in its, you know, on the purchase page bit. But yeah, I really love that fabric as well. I was trying to do a load of them at Christmas on a similar colour. I just really love that. I used to be all about the white fabric, not anymore. I'm wanting to do lovely soft colours like these. So that was one that I definitely knew I'd forgotten, but there is a second one. And I'm just going to show you this quickly because I think that is slightly pattern-like. I don't know, but maybe if I start at the bottom, it's by the Night Spirit Studio 3 of Crafts. And then if I hold it back, it's going to look like that. A pair of scissors in a heart that looks, to me, almost like a jewel, like a precious ruby or something. And it's got needles crossing through it and thread going up. So this is one I saw years ago and bought the pattern then. Can't remember how long ago, but it was ages ago, and it was doing the rounds on Instagram at the time, and people had been stitching it, choosing a different colour for the jewel. And there was one lady who'd done it in the really lovely like aqua blues and stuff. Oh, it looked amazing. But anyhow, I decided to actually stick with the red because, oh yeah, the aqua blue is very similar to our surfer colour in the snug, but I was thinking I was getting a bit too much of that colour in there. So anyhow, I just thought I'd stitch mine in the red. So that is where I've started. I haven't started to do any of the kind of metal bit of the pattern. I've just been doing, well, I think that's only one red I've just started with. I do that actually. I don't know if anybody else does that. I tend to get one colour out of a pattern and then stitch all of that colour before I get the next colour out. And I feel like it's a weird thing to do, that I'm kind of monogamous just to one colour while I'm stitching and then I swap onto another colour. So actually with the Barbara Anna, I'd done everything. Say if I picked this orange, I would have done everything in orange that I could stretch to and easily count to before I swap onto a different colour. And that's probably why I've done the blue and done as much of that blue as I could, so I don't have to count too far, but I stick with one colour. I feel like it says something about your personality, and I'm sure it's not good. But anyhow, so that is my start on the Night Spirit Studio 3 of crafts. Yeah, so there you go. That was just a little bit to tag on to the end. Yeah, now you have a bit of an idea what kind of stitching I tend to go for in my downtime, as it were. I love designing stitches and stuff, but I also like trying somebody else's out to see how people do it, and I like to pay attention to designs and see who I like. So yeah, you'll probably get a good gist of what I'm into. Okay, well anyhow, until I post another one, see yous, bye.